Hello, fifth graders. This is for the students that needed to take their Chapter 3 test or their Unit 3 test for math on multiplying and dividing fractions. You should already have a copy of this, but I'll attach one just in case. We're just going to work through these problems to help you get prepped for your test for Unit 3, which I'd like for you to take on Friday. Unless I'm using this next year and it could be a different day, but these are the problems that you'll see. So you can do the thing where you pause and work through the problem and then, unpause it, press play so that you can see if you're right. Or if you're like, I'm not really sure how to do it, I'm just gonna follow along with you. Either of those is fine. I just want this to be fresh in your head. All right, this first one says, without multiplying, will 5/9 times 6/5 be more or less than 5/9? So I have to look at the number 5/9 is being multiplied by. The number that 5/9 is being multiplied by, 6/5, that's actually equal to 1 1/5, right? 5 goes into 6 once with 1 left over. And if you multiply a fraction by something greater than 1, you're going to get an amount that is more than what you start with. So it's going to be more than 5/9 because the number I'm multiplying 5/9 by is more than 1. For the second one, without multiplying, will 12/13 times 9 be more or less than 9? Well, look at the number 9's being multiplied by. 9's being multiplied by 12/13. 12/13 is less than 1, right? 13/13 would be 1. 12/13 is less than 1. So if you multiply a number by something less than 1, you're going to get an amount that is less than what you start with. All right, some word problems for you, some math stories. 5/6, so that means 5/6 of the students at Greenwood walk to school. 2/3 of those students who walk to school get breakfast at school. What fraction of the students at Greenwood walk to school and get breakfast at school? So this is asking you to take 2/3 of 5/6. And remember, if you're asked to do 2/3 of 5/6, what does that word of mean? That means multiplication. So if they want to know 2/3 of 5/6, that means you should do 2/3 times 5/6. Now I'm going to look to see, can I cross simplify anywhere? I can. So 3 and 5 I can't, but with a 2 and 6, 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 6 3 times. 1 times 5 is 5, and 3 times 3 is 9, so we get an answer of 5/9. If you did 2 times 5 is 10, and 3 times 6 is 18, and got 10/18, you're on the right track. Just that can be simplified to 5/9 by dividing them both by 2. All right, next one. Gerald and 7 of his friends are sharing 4 sandwiches. It says Gerald and 7 of his friends, so be careful with this. They are going to share 4 sandwiches. How much of a sandwich will each person get if they share them equally? Well, equal sharing means division, okay? And we want to think of, what are we dividing up? Are we dividing up Gerald and his friends, or are we dividing up the sandwiches? We're dividing up the sandwiches. So in this one, I know it seems weird, but we're going to start with 4 because we're dividing up the sandwiches, and we're going to start with 4 because that's how many sandwiches we have. This 4 is going to be divided by the number of people who are sharing. It says Gerald and 7 of his friends. That doesn't mean 7 people. That means Gerald and his friends, so 4 divided by 8. And remember, we can look at this as 4 times 1/8. And I'll put a 1 underneath it. And you could either cross simplify, or you can just say, well, 4 times 1 is 4, and 1 times 8 is 8, so it's 4/8. Or maybe you looked at it beforehand and said, well, 4 goes into 4 once, 4 goes into 8 2 times. Either way, you're going to get 1/2 because 4/8 is equal to 1/2. So either one's fine. All right, to next page. There's not a back, which is nice. I know, you're like, how many problems are on here? It's not too bad. All right, a rectangular poster. A rectangular poster has a length of 5 feet and a width of 2.5 feet. What is the area? Okay, so area of a rectangle is length times width, right? So to find the area, I have to take the length times the width. 5 times 2.5. Remember, when you want to multiply by a mixed number, we need to change that to improper first. We want to multiply fractions. So I'm going to change the 5 to 5/1 times 2.5 would be 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5 halves. And now we see if we can cross simplify, and we can't. So 5 times 5 is 25. 1 times 2 is 2. All right, now I have to ask myself, how many times does 2 go into 25? 2 goes into 25 12 times, because 2 times 12 is 24, and 24 plus 1 is 25. So 25 halves is equal to 12 and a half, and so it will be 12 and a half feet squared. That would be the area. All right, my dog can run 10 and a half miles in 1 hour. How far can she run in 1/4 of an hour? All right, so if I want to find this distance, and just think about for this problem, because a lot of people want to divide, and this is multiplication. If I said my dog can run 10 miles in 1 hour, how far can she run in 5 hours? Wouldn't you take 10 times 5? Yeah. So instead of 10 times 5, we would take 10 and a half times 1/4. We're multiplying that rate by the distance. Okay, or sorry, by the time. So you would want to take 10 and a half times 1/4. All right, to do 10 and a half times 1/4, I need to change this into an improper fraction. 2 times 10 is 20, plus 1 is 21 halves, times the 1/4. And I look to see, can I cross simplify? Nope, nope. All right, 21 times 1 is 21. 2 times 4 is 8. This is improper, so let's switch it up. 8 goes into 21 twice, and 8 times 2 is 16. 16 is 5 away from 21, and my denominator does not change. So 2 5/8 miles. That's how far in 1/4 of an hour. That's pretty far. All right, next. If 1/4 of a cup of oatmeal makes 1 serving, how many servings are in 5 cups of oatmeal? So what I'm asking you is, how many 1/4 are there in 5? How many 1/4 are there in 5? That means I'm going to do 5 divided by 1/4, because I want to know how many 1/4 there are in 5. So I start with my total amount, the 5, and I'm dividing it up. I want to know how many 1/4 there are in there. You can kind of picture it like you have a tub of oatmeal, and we're scooping out 1/4 and scooping out 1/4 and scooping out 1/4 over and over again. Repeatedly taking away 1/4, repeated subtraction is division. To solve this division problem, we can use multiplication. Remember, we do keep it and multiply by the reciprocal. The reciprocal of 1/4, excuse me, is 4. All right, 5 times 4 is 20. So 20 servings, which makes sense. If you have 5 cups, you can, I'm gonna grab my water, you can scoop out 1/4 20 times. Turn the page. We're back to some similar kinds of problems again. These were all the review problems I did with your classmates. So I want to make sure you get the full review. Without multiplying, will 7/8 times 5/4 be more or less than 7/8? Well, I'm multiplying 7/8 by 5/4, and 5/4, it is greater than 1 because it's improper. This is actually equal to 1 1/4. So if I multiply 7/8 by a number more than 1, I'm going to get an answer that's more than 7/8. Without multiplying, will 9/3 times 3/4 be more or less than 3/4? So look at what 3/4 is being multiplied by. 9/3. 9/3 is also improper. 9/3 means 9 divided by 3. This is equal to 3. That means I'm going to get an amount that is more than 3/4 because I'm multiplying 3/4 by something that is more than 1. All right, last one of these. Without multiplying, will 5/8 times 4 be more or less than 4? Well, 4 is being multiplied by 5/8, and 5/8 is less than 1. That means my answer is going to be less than 4. Okay, move my chair. Here we go. 9 friends are sharing 3 sandwiches. Which equation, sorry, I didn't circle this, 9. 9 friends are sharing 3 sandwiches. Remember, equal sharing means division. Which equation shows how much of a sandwich each friend will get if they share it equally? Ask yourself, what are you sharing? Are you sharing friends or are you sharing sandwiches? You're sharing sandwiches. That is what you have to start with. The answer should be B. 3 divided by 9. I know it seems so weird to look at 3 divided by 9 instead of 9 divided by 3, but isn't 9 divided by 3 3? If you chose A, that would mean that each friend would get 3 sandwiches, but they only have 3 sandwiches between 9 people. With this one, each person would get 3 divided by 9, or 3 times 1/9 which is, cross simplify, 1/3. So each person would get 1/3 of a sandwich, which makes sense if there's 9 people and only 3 sandwiches. Next, here we go. We're on our last page. Aren't you excited? A turtle travels 2 1/4 yards in 1 hour. How many yards can it travel in 1/5 of an hour? So again, if you replace these with whole numbers, you would know, oh, I'm supposed to multiply. If I said a turtle travels 2 yards in 1 hour, how far does it go in 10 hours? Wouldn't you just do 2 times 10? Yes. So we have to multiply. That's the operation you want to use. I could not get that word out. So we're going to do 2 1/4 times 1/5. In order to solve this, I need to change this into an improper fraction. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9/4 times 1/5. I can't cross simplify, so I get 9 times 1 is 9, and 4 times 5 is 20. So it can go 9/20ths of a yard in 1/5 of an hour, which is less than 2 1/4, which makes sense because that's how far it can go in 1 hour. 1/5 of an hour is less than an hour, so your answer should be less than what you started with. All right, if there is 1/4 of a cup of almonds in 1 serving, how many servings are there in a 3-cup bag of almonds? So picture we have this 3-cup bag of almonds and we're going to repeatedly take out 1/4. We're repeatedly subtracting 1/4. We're taking this 3 and dividing it up into 1/4 cup servings. So this should be division. I would keep, change, keep, switch, flip. So 3 divided by 1/4 is the same as 3 times 4, which gives us 12 servings, which makes sense. If you have 3 cups to start, you can scoop out 1/4 12 times. All right, second to last problem. There is 3/4 of a container of juice left. Samuel drinks 4/5 of what's left in the container. What fraction of the whole container of juice did he drink? Well, he drank 4/5 of 3/4. And remember when you see that word of, if I'm supposed to take 4/5 of 3/4, that means 4/5 times 3/4. This is the same as 4/5 of 3/4. So I'm going to look to see, can I cross simplify? I love when I see the same number. Each number goes into itself 1 time. 1 times 3 is 3. 5 times 1 is 5. And I have 3/5 of a container left. Okay, or sorry, 3/5 is what fraction of the whole container you drank. Okay, last one. Mrs. Smith made 12 pieces of bacon to share between herself and 4 other family members. So, hang on, let me switch to low power mode really quick. Okay, sorry. So, she's going to share between herself and 4 family members. That means she's sharing between 5 people because it's herself and 4. How many pieces of bacon will each person get if they share the bacon equally? This is division, right? Equal sharing is division. What are they sharing? Are they sharing bacon or are they sharing people? They are sharing the bacon. And how much bacon is there? There's 12 pieces of bacon. So you should take 12 divided by 5, not 5 divided by 12. You're not dividing the people by the bacon. The bacon isn't going to eat the people, okay? The people are going to eat the bacon. So 12 divided by 5, I can change this to 12 times 1/5. And I put the 1 underneath the 12. 12 times 1 is 12. 1 times 5 is 5. Each person will get, change this improper into a mixed number. 5 goes into 12 twice, and 5 times 2 is 10. There's 2 left over out of 5. So each person would get 2 2/5 pieces of bacon. Can you imagine taking that last little piece of bacon and breaking it up into fifths? I could, because bacon is that good. All right, you're ready for your test. Thanks for watching.